stuff first.
Welcome back. In early March, KX News reported on a fire that heavily damaged the fire station in Glenburn. The firehouse and equipment were basically a complete loss.
Since then, donations are coming in supporting the rebuilding of this small volunteer-run department. So in today's KX conversation, we are joined by Mike Overton, the Glenburn Rural Fire Department Chief. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So far, a GoFundMe set up for donations has raised about $24,000, and you've also received donations from other departments around the state. Tell us about the outpouring of support.
The outpouring of support has been absolutely amazing. It's actually been overwhelming. We have received trucks, we've received equipment, we've received gear from fire departments all over the state and even outside of the state. We've had donations as far away as Brainerd, Nebraska, bringing us up gear and equipment. We have a lot of donor vehicles that have been given to us to help us to get up and operating. Our main goal, of course, is public safety. We have to get our fire department at least operating, even in a temporary location, so that we can put out fires and save people and property as needed.
Absolutely. So are you set with all these donations, or what are the big needs for you at this time?
We have a long way to go. I don't know exactly how long it's going to take us to get fully up and operational. There are 4 basic fires calls that we go on: medical calls, grass fire calls, structure fire calls, and rescue calls. We can already respond to all of our medical calls and all of our grass fire calls. And then in a limited sense, we can respond to structure fire calls and rescue calls. But we will still be relying on nearby departments to provide us mutual aid. And that's just because we're still rebuilding our capabilities with equipment and training.
And Mike, a lot of people are going to see this interview on air and online. What do you still need?
Well, the biggest need right now is just flat out cash. We have our building was in a complete loss, so we are going to have to rebuild the building, and that is covered a good portion by the insurance. But then on top of that, it's going to be very expensive to build that building, and a lot more than what we currently have. So we're applying for grants and getting donations from businesses and stuff like that. As far as a list of equipment, most of the equipment that we need now is very fire department specific equipment. We've got a lot of donations coming in from local stores for the regular day-to-day equipment for the operation of the fire department. But there is still a lot more stuff that we're going to have to get a hold of.
Chief Mike Overton, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you.